actors James Stewart and Jeff Chandler and lovely Deborah Paget will be featured in the Western story Broken Arrow. And here's another program change. The Sunday Theater Guild on the Air will return to NBC. This will necessitate the rescheduling of the popular NBC Symphony Orchestra concerts. Therefore, for the new season, the NBC Symphony Orchestra, under the direction of Peter Herman Adler, will come to you on Saturday. Well, there you have it, a brief rundown of the new fall picture on NBC. Friday means Night Beat, The Man Called X, and Screen Directors Playhouse. And on Saturday, hear the full-hour broadcasts of the NBC Symphony Orchestra. Yes, this fall, for the best in radio entertainment, keep tuned to this, your NBC station. Now, back to Inspector Thorne and the Nickels and Dimes murder case. When beautiful Liza Gray is killed with an instrument of death made of nickels and dimes wrapped up in a piece of cloth, Inspector Thorne gets his first lead from the murdered woman's aunt, Claire Alsop, who tells him that Liza's husband, James, threatened to kill her if she didn't come back to him. Aunt Claire says that Liza left her husband because he was having an affair with a girl from Europe, Maria Sunta. And the inspector finds Maria hiding in the husband, James' apartment, although they both claim that they are just friends. An accusation by James sends Inspector Thorne to Victor Brand, owner of an amusement park, who had been trying vainly to get the murdered Liza to marry him after divorcing James. And now we see Inspector Thorne with Sergeant Muggan in Victor Brand's office, saying,
I repeat, Brand, you had access to new nickels and dimes in this amusement park. And you had the temper to kill Liza Gray when she kept turning you down.
Maybe so, Inspector, but I couldn't be in two places at once.
Keep talking, Brand.
You met Al Stitt when you came in, the fellow holding down the outer office?
Go on.
Al Stitt's a barker here at the amusement park. I'll get him. Stitt, come in here.
What is it, boss?
Where was I last night, Stitt?
Why, you were right here, Mr. Brand. Closed down the park about 3 a.m.
And after 3 a.m.?
You and me played a friendly poker game. We quit around 6, maybe. Then we went home, grabbed some shut-eye.
Satisfied, Inspector Thorne? If I was with Stitt, I couldn't be murdering Liza Gray, could I?
I've heard worse alibis, Brand, but not much
Why,
worse. Your pal Stitt would obviously say anything to back you up.
You're darn right, Chief. Stitt was in on that pickpocket rap with Brand.
That's all I need to know, Sergeant Muggan.
Try and break that alibi, Inspector Thorne, and see how far you get.
I will, Brand. Come on, Muggan.
I'm with you, Chief.
Hey, Muggan.
Yeah?
Check in at headquarters and see if the boys found anything else at the murder scene.
Gotcha.
I'm going back to the murder house to Aunt Claire Alsop and ask her a couple of leading questions.
But meanwhile, at the house where Liza Gray was murdered, we see Aunt Claire opening the door to Maria Sunta, the girl from Europe, and saying in astonishment,
Maria Sunta? What on earth are you doing here?
I had to see you, please, Miss Alsop.
All right.
I know you do not like me.
I don't dislike you, Maria. It wasn't your fault James acted like a scoundrel.
It is about James I have come.
James?
You must not say any more bad things about James, Miss Alsop. You must not put any ideas into Inspector Thorne's head.
I'm only saying what I know, Maria.
You are making the inspector think that James killed his wife, Liza.
I'm not doing anything of the kind.
You are. And James didn't kill her.
How do you know, Maria?
I...
You didn't hear James threaten Liza the way I did, or you wouldn't be so sure.
Maria, you shouldn't have come here.
Jimmy, I wanted to talk to Aunt Claire.
Let Aunt Claire alone. She's made enough trouble.
Why are you two insulting me? You, James, and Maria. I didn't ask you to come here.
And I never asked you to stick your nose in my business, Claire.
What?
The whole thing's your fault.
My fault?
You were always trying to break up me and my wife, Liza. You encouraged Victor Brand to hang around just to break up our marriage.
I encouraged Victor Brand. If there was a worse man for Liza than you, James, it was Victor Brand. And I did my best to keep him away from Liza.
I'd like to have seen that, Claire.
I was only thinking of Liza's good.
What's going on here?
Oh, Inspector Thorne. James and Maria are saying the most dreadful things to me.
Really, Miss Clare?
My one thought was to help my poor niece, Liza. And now to be accused. Well, Liza knew better. She said so in her will.
Her will, Miss Clare?
Liza left me a few $1,000, Inspector Thorne. And she said specifically it was for my kindness to her.
Liza was a fool.
Be quiet, James. Miss Clare, you say the murdered Liza, your niece, left you a few $1,000s. How many?
Something under 5,000, I think, Inspector Thorne.
Well, did you know Liza had put you in her will?
Well, of course. But I didn't know she was going to say that about my being kind.
Well, don't you realize, Miss Clare, that this bequest could give you a motive for the murder of your niece?
I never thought of it that way.
Now you know how it feels to be suspected, Claire.
I'm not afraid, James. The way you and Maria Sunta are.
Stop talking about Maria and me as if we were a couple.
Well, aren't you?
We are just friends, and you stop telling tales about us.
Telling tales, Maria? I saw you myself with James in several places.
Oh, what places, Miss Clare?
Tony's on 33rd for one, Inspector Thorne, and a chop house called the Black Rooster.
Inspector Thorne, can I see you alone?
Yes, Sergeant Muggen. The rest of you stay in this room, please. What's up, Muggen?
When the squad searched the murder house, they found this in the hall closet near the murder room, Chief. A scarf stained with blood. The murdered woman's blood.
So this scarf is the rest of the murder weapon, Muggen. This is the cloth in which the killer packed those nickels and dimes.
Looks like it, Chief.
This scarf is hand-embroidered. Imported.
Hey, where you going, Chief?
Maria Sunta, come in here.
Me, Inspector?
Maria, you came from Europe recently. I suppose you brought some things to America with you,
Very little.
Or did you bring this scarf? This hand-embroidered, imported scarf?
No, I never saw that scarf before.
I think you did, Maria. But I'm sure this scarf is so unusual that it will be easily identified.
All right. It is my scarf. I lost it.
You lost it all right when you filled it with nickels and dimes and slugged Liza Gray over the head with it.
Maybe the murderer stole it from me, Sergeant Muggen.
Maybe you're lying, Toots. Or maybe a pal, the murdered girl's husband, took it.
No, Jimmy did not take my scarf.
What's going on out there?
Well, sounds like a fight, Chief.
Let's go, Muggen. You stay here, Maria.
It's Victor Brand and her husband, James.
They're killing each other.
I'll stop that. Come on, break it up.
Get back, Victor.
Let me go. Come on, quit that, James.
I'll kill him.
Cut it out, both of you.
Stop it.
Now, what's happened?
Victor Brand came barging in here. Threatened me if I sick the cops on him anymore.
You dirty rat, you'll kill Liza.
I'll get you for that, Brand.
Now get down, James.
That's enough, James. Why did you come here, Victor Brand?
I came to beat the truth out of that squirt James Gray.
Don't you believe him, Inspector Thorne? Brand came because he was sore I tipped you off to him. He was afraid I knew more.
All right. You both stop shouting. I see something much more interesting on the floor.
Something interesting.
Yes, Victor. I see a brand new shiny nickel.
Nickel?
This new nickel must have fallen out of your pocket, James. Or yours, Victor, while you were fighting.
It didn't fall out of my pocket, Thorne.
Or
I
mine.
wonder if there are any more new coins in either of you. Look in their pockets, Muggen.
Okay, Chief. You first, James.
I haven't any new nickels.
Well, we'll see about that. Chief, a bullseye. Right in this coat pocket.
Yes, Muggen. Another new nickel and 2 new dimes.
Victor Brand planted those coins in my pocket. That's why you came here, Brand, to frame
I
me.
never saw those coins before in my life.
Both of you be quiet. Now go to your homes and stay there until I send for you. Come with me, Sergeant Muggen.
Right, Chief.
We've got to get moving, Muggen. You and I have a chore to do.
What?
You'll see.
And now, a few hours later, we see Inspector Thorne in his office at headquarters with Sergeant Muggen. As his door opens and Maria Sunta, the girl from Europe, enters, saying,
Please, Inspector Thorne, may I see you?
Sergeant Muggen asked you to wait outside with the others, didn't he, Maria?
I sure did,
But
Chief.
I have something to tell you, Inspector Thorne.
What, Maria?
This man, this Victor Brandt, the one who owns the amusement park.
Yes?
A week ago, Victor Brandt makes a date with me for lunch. He says it is because he wishes me to use my influence to break up the marriage between James and Liza, to make her get a divorce quick.
Well?
Inspector, I am wearing my embroidered scarf at lunch, the one you found all bloody in the murder house. Victor Brandt must have stolen it from me.
Did you miss the scarf after the lunch was over, Maria?
I did not think about it. But Victor Brandt must have taken it.
So, you sneaked in here to lie about
You
me,
can't come
Maria.
in this office, Victor Brandt.
No, then what are you doing here? I'm getting the picture, Inspector Thorne. Maria Sunter and James Gray are trying to frame
It
me.
is the other way around. You put those new nickels and dimes in James's pocket, Victor Brandt.
Nuts, I did.
And you stole my scarf because you knew it would look as though James had taken it.
That's enough from both of you. Muggin, bring in Aunt Claire Allsop and her husband, James Gray.
Okay, Chief. Miss Alsop, Gray, you can come in now.
Yes, Sergeant Muggen.
Inspector Thorne,
Yes, James?
I swear I never put those new nickels and dimes in my pocket. Brand planted them in there. Brand's framing me.
Yes.
Yes and no.
What do you mean, Inspector Thorne?
I mean, James, you are half right and half wrong.
What?
Someone is trying to frame you, all right. But it isn't Victor Brandt.
Well, who?
Someone who gave away the frame by planting the new coins in your pocket.
I don't understand.
I noticed when I first asked to see the change in your pocket, you kept your coins in your left-hand pocket. The new nickels and dimes were in your right-hand pocket.
But who put them there?
Yes, Inspector Thorne. Who?
I had a hunch that you, James, and Maria Sunter were telling the truth about your relationship, that you were only friends. Now ask yourself, James, why then did your murdered wife believe that you and Maria were more than friends and leave you?
Yes. Why?
Because someone poisoned your wife Liza's mind against you, James. Someone lied about you. Someone said she saw you with Maria in various places like the Black Rooster and Tony's.
It was Claire.
No.
Yes, you, Aunt Claire Allsop. You should never have mentioned Tony's. It's too swanky and small, and the head waiter remembers his customers.
What?
Sergeant Muggen and I checked, and the head waiter never saw James or Maria Sunter or you in the place.
He's lying. I saw them. I was there.
I wondered why I kept hearing from James and Maria that you'd always tried to separate James and his wife, Liza. And from Victor Brand, that you prevented him from seeing
It was
Liza.
for Liza's own good.
No, Claire Allsop. It was because you lived with Liza when her husband was overseas. You liked your comfortable life and resented being pushed out when her husband James came home.
No.
Maria Sunter was telling the truth when she said she came to James the morning after the murder with the news that his wife was going to go back to him.
No.
Yes, it was the truth. Liza said she finally believed James really loved her.
It's a lie.
It's the truth, Claire Allsop. All at once you realized that Liza would return to James and you'd be out in the cold again. So you murdered Liza for the money she left you. Not $5,000 as you told me, but almost $100,000. And you planned to put the guilt on James.
You'll never prove it. Never.
You're wrong, Claire Allsop. Sergeant Muggen and I also checked the neighborhood banks. They don't get many requests for small change. And one teller remembers giving you $10 worth of new nickels and dimes.
I'll fight it. I'll fight it in every court. You'll never prove that I killed Liza. Never, never.
No, Claire Allsop? I wouldn't give a plug nickel for your chances.
And so ends the Nickels and Dimes murder case. The part of Inspector Thorne is played by Stotts Cotsworth. Direction by Edward Slattery. The script was written by Bill Belgard, based on the original story by Frank and Ann Hummer. This is Fred Collins inviting you to tune in again next Thursday at this same time when the National Broadcasting Company will present Inspector Thorne in The Two Fiancés Murder Case.
Monday through Friday, The Woman in My House on NBC.
While Stotts Cotsworth is best known for his role as Casey crime photographer, late in his career he took this in the Inspector Thorne. He was also in a number of other roles, including, as we said, best known as Casey crime photographer, Amanda of Honeymoon Hill, also Big Sister, Lone Journey, Ma Perkins, Mark Trail, as the lead character there, Mr. and Mrs. North, Pepper Young's Family, and When a Girl Marries. Cotsworth also did a wonderful role for the CBS Radio Workshop, and that was Space Merchants, a two-parter which we do run occasionally here. It should be no surprise in listening to the dialogue that